Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the predictions video. Yes, earlier today we got the July 4th Swipe Rust rotation for 2025, and in this video I want to go ahead and try and figure out of all these skins, which of them is potentially the best investment for this week, which of these skins might help us walk away with some sweet, delicious looking profit. So sit back, relax, I'm going to start yapping. Right, so we were supposed to see friend-themed skins, considering, right, if we could just quickly hop out of here, it's the Friends with Benefits update. Not a huge, massive content update, but we have seen the introduction of the party system. Now, do you like that, or are you not fully behind it? Feel free to comment below. You're more than welcome to do so. There's also a video here which kind of was a recap of everything they've added so far this year, and it also gave a sneak peek for what's about to appear later this year in a good few months' time. So we'll talk more about that in a little bit later. So back over to here, talking about the skins that we currently have in the Rust store. Whilst we didn't get any friend-themed skins, out of all of these, we did see some pretty interesting collection continuations. But which one is actually looking to be the most reliable looking skin? It's got to be the Stinger Crossbow. There's just a couple concerns. Number one, that is not abnormal. Number two, it might sell a little bit too much because considering that it is a transparent view, I was going to say aim sight, but that's not an aim sight, is it? But you know what I'm saying. That has transparency, and there's only one other crossbow that has this, and that is the Cargo Heli crossbow. That was accepted about 3 years ago, and ever since then, that has been comfortably high in price because it's pay to win. People like to get the extra bit of view. It's helpful, it's handy. And now we have a new crossbow that only costs $2 that has it. Well then. So this was selling for $8 before we saw the Rust rotation. Now it's not, and maybe it will still keep getting cheaper because I'm not fully sure if everybody is fully aware that that has that pay to win site, that view. It might be a heat seeker SAR type of situation where initially for the first couple of days it sells quite normally, but then a TikTok or a short video gets out there and suddenly everybody realizes, oh, hang on a minute, that's a pay to win aim site, and then everybody starts buying it. Maybe. You've got to be careful. Now, by all means, if you're going to buy one for yourself, buy one. Support the skin creator. Keep them nice and motivated. Keep them nice and motivated. Keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. But as an investment, it's probably still wiser to wait until Wednesday. Look at the total subscriber count by then make a decision. We can't do abnormal barders, which would be super helpful for something like this. But it still looks like it's going to be in a nice in-demand skin. Again, this is the only other skin that we compare to, and that's expensive. But this right here, that's $2. So maybe this only probably does around 20,000 subscribers. That's quite a bit, but not too ridiculous. That's somewhat reasonable. So, okay, all right, maybe some nice things can work out quite nicely. But it's smarter if you wait till Wednesday. So again, if you're going to go buy one for yourself, I don't blame you. But if you want to go ahead and maybe buy 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, wait till next Wednesday. Then look at the sales. And if it's somehow magically gone up to 40,000 subscribers, yeah, maybe that might be more of a concern. If it's only kind of sitting around 20,000, all right, you know what? Maybe that's looking a lot more appealing. So, okay, point made, all good. And who knows? The skin creator might go ahead and make a collection continuation. I can't read that. I don't think anyone's asked him yet. So, who knows what gets made next? We'll see. Okay, so that's looking pretty sweet. That's looking pretty interesting. So, out of all these other skins, what's also looking to be like it's going to work out quite nicely. I will sit here and say the Island Assault Team boots, but I am concerned about one notable thing. So, of course, we've just had a collection continuation after the gloves, and of course this came out after the tier 3. These are now pushing to new all-time high prices, and this literally was just the previous week's Rust store, wasn't it? This is now on the Steam market for basically double its price. Well, it was, but yeah, the barders easily going over the price it sold for in a Rust store, which was 99 cents, which is the same as the boots. But this came before the boots. And, you know, in theory, we might see a collection continuation. I'll talk about that. Oh, yes, I will. But that did only 18,000 subscribers. These both did just under 20,000 subscribers. We haven't even had a full day yet, and this is already at 7,600 subscribers. I think the boots are selling a little bit too much, and I am worried, okay? So you might have just saw them and thought, wow, okay, Island Assault has become a full collection. I've got to jump onto that. I don't blame you. But now I am concerned about the amount that are selling. And if that goes over 20,000 subscribers, that's going to have problems. So this is why I always say when you want to make an investment, wait it out. Be patient, because it's super rewarding. Now let's just say that ends up doing like, again, just to give you a nice sort of example, if that did like 25,000 subscribers, yeah, I'd think that would probably suffer. But if we ended up seeing hoodie and pants or tier 2 being accepted, that would still spike demand, spike in price. But the likes of the gloves, they'll be a lot better because it does look like this is going to sell more than that. And in theory, if there's only so many full, complete collections you can of this collection, well, the ones that are going to end up with excess are going to be the ones that are going to have a lot more listings on the Steam market and on third-party sites, which of course lead to lower prices. So that is a concern. But now let's just point out something very, very nice to know about. The skin creator, Uncle, he is planning to release Island Assault Tier 2 this weekend, apparently by July 6th. So that's coming, and we already have the hoodie and pants in the workshop. It's just a case of Facepunch hasn't, well, they haven't chosen to accept them. Not sure why. Perhaps the skin creator needs to go back and redo them, and we'll see. But maybe they're just saving it for another time, who knows, right? So we'll see how that progresses, but we are fully well aware Tier 2 is going to be made fairly soon. So, okay, cool. Now, I just want to quickly bring this up. It's a bit of a brag, but yeah, I bought 100 of those gloves. Just a little bit of a brag, just a little bit. But I felt a whole lot more confident after I did the abnormal barders. So if you could go ahead and watch my most recent Ruskin Abnormal Barders video for July 3, 2025, consider watching the first 5 minutes of this video, scroll down and skip ahead to the Barders chapter, and you'll basically understand that abnormal skins, they become marketable before the roster even rotates. So what we can do is we can figure out prices, and then of course, the second that these become marketable, we race to put those Barders down, and then afterwards, we'll look at each of the abnormal skins, we'll look and see how many Barders they have, how high the price goes, and then we question, do we feel a lot more confident into potentially want to actually buy straight from the Rust store? Do we actually think these skins are going to retain their price? After my discussion yesterday, I was like fully on board with Island Assault Team Road Sign gloves. And when it came to the No Mercy sheet double door, yeah, I felt confident with that as well. So if I could just quickly navigate back over to here, I also bought 20 of them as well. But I had to do the Barders first to feel more confident to go ahead and actually do that. And I'm not upset. I feel like I'm in a very good spot right now. So for your consideration, that video would be very helpful. It's the most recent Ruskin Abnormal Barders video. Cool. Right then, so that's nice, that's helpful. But out of all these skins now, which one's looking to be the next potentially most appealing investment? I'm going to go out of a limb. In terms of long term, right? In terms of long term, I think the backpack's actually got a very good shout. And it's purely based on the fact that it's another black backpack. But they seem to be appreciated. We've had the Blackout backpack. We've had the Legacy Kevlar backpack. They have both gone up in price. Now, this past June, we've had some issues. What do you mean? We had a bit of a slump towards the end of the month. So what you'll see here is this is currently sitting here at just about $3. But if you look and see where it was just a good few weeks back, you'll see that this was actually pushing up to $3.5, $4. Yeah, at the beginning of June, that was doing very good. But we've had a slump. Now that we've entered July and just had the July 4 swipe and we've had a lot of people turn up and whatnot, it's hoping we rebound and go back up again. Fingers crossed. But yes, this did an absolutely absurd amount of subscribers. Just to remind you, almost 55,000 subscribers. And it still went back up in the positive because there's still very good demand for it. Legacy Kevlar, that did almost 24,000 subscribers. And same thing, just a good few weeks back, this was also sitting here in the positive at just over $3. So both of these black backpacks are in demand. They both have like collections behind them that have quite a lot of interest. People appreciate them. So if I was to sit here and tell you that the training collection actually came out before both of those collections, yes, even before Blackout, and if I had to tell you it's a full collection that's fairly in demand, prices are good, do you feel like that's looking to be a whole lot more reliable? Yeah, that's actually going to be pretty appealing. So I can't help but assume that, yeah, maybe initially the training backpack probably dips below its Rust store price for a while. But as we eventually go through good times again, I would be surprised if it rebounds, exactly like the Blackout did and the Legacy Kevlar backpack skin did. So yeah, that is looking to be good. It's looking to be appealing. And yeah, if you feel interested, well, maybe do the Barders first, because that is abnormal. Okay, cool. So looking at all these other skins, I think the next one I want to talk about will be the Modern Military SAP. Purely based on the fact that I believe SAP skins tend to be very reliable skins, but you're better off with a buy order. Take a look at all the SAP skins we've had so far this year and compare it to the previous year's skins. We've had quite a lot, and they haven't done stupidly insanely good or stupidly insanely bad. They just kind of stick around their Rust store price. Now, as time goes on, they do tend to get appreciated, and it ends up like this. Somewhat nicely in the positive, but that's it. So don't assume, oh, I'm going to make so much delicious profit. You'll probably make good profits, just don't expect it to be that much. So this right here, it is part of a fairly large collection, the military collection, as you can see right here. It's fairly in demand, the clothing and the armour. The tools, the weapons, though, not so much. So if you're going to sit there and say, what should I offer? I think a $1 to $1.50 barter would be pretty alright. Pick these up for a fairly cheaper price when times are bad, and flip them again when times are good. So, okay, maybe we're better off of a long-term barter approach. Okay, that's fine, that can work. But yeah, don't expect huge gains, don't expect huge profits. You can try best and offer a lower price buy order, but will you even be successful? We'll save that when we make considerations next week. So, okay, cool. Looking at all the remaining skins, I feel like now's probably a good time to mention the LR300. This is also a pay-to-win aim site. This is a transparent aim site. And this was a random, extra late pick, because that was actually submitted a year ago. Yep. The Apocalypse Nomad LR300 was submitted back on the 1st of July 2024. But this is a pattern we've seen over the past 2 weeks. We've been seeing a few extra late picks here and there. So, okay, cool. Understood. So, what's wrong? Why is this the lowest selling skin? It's an LR300. How often are you using LR300 and appreciating it and adoring it and loving it? Okay, yeah. So, when you look at all the skins, you'll notice there's a bit of a problem. Yeah. They're not doing very well because people don't like using the gun. Okay, so if people don't use the gun enough, where's the justification to own skins? Huh, okay, fair enough. All right, we get it. Yeah, there are so many of these skins down bad, real bad. So I am concerned, but I am fully well aware, and consider watching my Rust rotation video to see this for yourself. I do compare to a standard LR300. The transparency is useful, it's nice, it's convenient. I just don't think people like the design of the Apocalypse Nomad in general. Take a look at all these other weapon skins, and yeah, it's a bit awkward. The MP5 is dropping off pretty badly because we've just recently had the Heatseeker MP5. So fair enough. Okay, we can accept that. AK, it kind of goes up and down. Not too many of them are in circulation. It actually is performing better compared to standard, normal other like AK-47 skins. So, all right then. And the M39, there's a sheer lack of M39 skins, so that's not doing too bad either. But the LR300, I am still concerned. I'm still a fair bit worried, and I feel like that's going to be better off as a barter situation. But I could still see it working out quite nicely to a point. But it's definitely going to be a barter type of situation. Yes. Okay, fair enough. I think the next skin I'll talk about is the No Mercy rocket launcher. I'm a bit 50-50 on this because, of course, take a look at all the rocket launchers we've had so far this year. Oh, that's down by half its price. That's down by a third of its price. Oh dear, yes. Now, I don't know how much this is going to likely sell, but I do not expect it to match up the sales that the Black Ops rocket launcher reached. And I will point out, it's white and black. We have a full white rocket launcher here, antique rocket launcher, and that's basically comfortably in the positive. And then we also happen to have the Glory rocket launcher. That came out years ago. That's also black and white. That's also fairly in the positive. Could No Mercy, being part of the largest collection in the game, with 38 skins in total, could that work out perfectly fine? I mean, fingers crossed, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% convinced. But a smart builder, okay, yeah, that'll probably be all right then. Yep. You just got to be a fairly bit realistic with it. I think as time goes on, it will gradually go up in price, and it will be appreciated, but I'm just a little bit concerned about the initial first 3 months. That's what I'm mainly concerned about. So, okay, fair enough, understood. Right, remaining skins. I think out of pure curiosity, the work crate will be getting quite a lot of attention. It has so much transparency. At some point, we're just going to have invisible boxes. But I feel like you can really easily hide that. Maybe in bushes. Maybe you can hide it in like the jungle foliage and whatnot. It's a consideration. But, God, how much transparency are we going to go? How far beyond can we become? Okay. I get the feeling that that might be selling quite a fair bit because it's the second best selling skin so far. But, ew. Small box skins in general, you take one quick look at this, and what do you see? It's not exactly pretty. No. Yeah, that's a bit of a worry. Now, by default, okay, if it's likely to go down a price, we'll just stick with a barter. We've said that quite a lot already today, but you'll realise that that's probably the smartest approach for pretty much everything. Yeah. So, okay, then work crate, you're interesting, and consider watching my rust rotation video to get a good look at that for yourself. I think that might open the doors for some very cool looking Halloween and Christmas skins in the future, if we'll have that much transparency in a small box. So, alright, cool, fair enough, we'll leave it at that then. Smart barter is probably the way to go. So with the remaining skins, I'm now going to talk about the Croco bolt action rifle. Croco skins in general, they are not really holding up that great, sorry to say. But from what you can see there, alright, yeah, we see that. That's just basically behaving like a normal double barrel shotgun skin, half its price. That's just basically behaving like a normal SAP skin, slightly down but not too bad. That's just basically behaving like an AK-47 skin, half its price. So, okay, yeah, that's not looking super great. But bolt action rifles, we don't get that many of them, do we? No, we do not. Now, we've just had the Bellum Twitch drops. We've just had Elxocast's bolt action rifle being given away for free. So maybe this is the reason why this isn't selling that much. Fine. But if it isn't selling that much, all the better for it to rise up in price in the future. And one thing I could see, like, I could consider happening, is that we don't see another bolt action rifle skin being accepted this year. So just the sheer lack of skins being accepted, that Croco bolt action rifle might actually work out and become quite a nice investment. For your consideration. But yeah, that's not abnormal, so that might be a bit of a concern. Now, last year we had quite a lot. We had 2 Twitch drops and 3 marketable skins. That's down by 40%. That's down by 20%, but that's actually working out quite alright. And it's a Christmas skin. But I get the feeling because it's mostly, with the appearance, it appears to be fairly light white. I think a lot of people using white out in the snow biomes are probably using that, and yeah. So, Croco, with you being green, could we see a lot of people wanting to use that in the jungle and whatnot? Maybe. I'm not 100% convinced of that, because why wouldn't like all the other green Croco skins be doing good then? Like they're not. So yeah. So we'll talk about that in terms of Wednesday. Look at the sales and make considerations. But yeah, maybe a bardo will probably be the way to go about it. That's the moral of the story. Yay! But last skin to talk about: Temple Guardian Garage Door. Very cool, nice looking design. Matches up very nicely with the jungle building skin. But how many garage doors ahead so far this year? Quite a lot. And at the current rate of acceptances, we're almost at 200. And we're just seeing more and more and more of these being accepted. We're going to have a record-breaking amount this year. Last year we had 34 in total. That was the previous record. We're past the halfway point this year now. We've already got 22. Oh, yeah. Now, also consider potential Twitch drops and whatnot. Yeah, we're going to surpass 34. Now, because we keep seeing more and more skins being accepted, the majority of these are down bad. It's hard for them to maintain interest, and when more and more appear, it's even harder. So they lose their value, and they struggle, and they go down in price. It might seem cool right now, it might look pretty impressive, but give it another couple months, there'll be another cool looking garage door, and another one, and another one, and another one, and that will go down in price. $3 for now, oh my, it'll go down by half, and it wouldn't surprise me. Why do I say that? Because it's not even the first jungle themed garage door we've had this year. Down 56, down 60, down 50, down 54. Point made? Yes. Sorry to say, but the inevitable is inevitable, so sorry. So, that's everything in regards to that. Let's close that. Let's put that out of the way. Smartest approach is always to consider waiting until like Wednesday. I think SMM's having a bit of a funny moment, so I'm just going to refresh that. Let's now go over to here and talk about the commits. So we've just had the force wipe. We've just had the update. Cool. What is there to expect now? Well, honestly, all you can really do now is just keep an eye on the commits. So that's linked in the description. You can see what the devs are currently working on in terms of new content and whatnot. And the next main big update for this year is the NAVAL update. So if you could just quickly navigate back over to here. You probably saw the blog post. You've probably seen the video. But did you actually see what was the content of the video? So if we could just quickly skip ahead. There you go. That was the little preview of what we're expecting later this year. Or rather, potentially in just a few months' time. Shadowfrax's video, they think or believe it's coming out potentially October or November time, which is fine. That's totally cool. I'm looking forward to that. Last year, we had a very big update for October as well, didn't we? October 2024 had the world update, and for October 2025, potentially, we might be seeing the naval update in which we can build up our own boats, navigate all around the ocean, visit brand new ocean monuments, and I am understanding that this is actually quite literally a base you can have on the ocean. So that sounds really cool, yeah. But you can have sailboats, you can have motorboats, you can, well, become a pirate apparently. So that sounded very appealing. That sounded very fun. All right, cool. Do you think a lot of people are going to want to turn up and play that when that comes out? I think they would, yeah. Especially when you can see that we've got special cannons here, so we can do pirate like ship fights and whatnot. Oh, that's definitely sounding funny. But of course, it also showcases that there's the brand new Hazmat DLC on display, or rather, just the helmet. That's the Pilot Hazmat DLC. Now that apparently, so if we go back over to the commits, and you'll be able to see this for yourself. It has been mentioned that we're going to get some sort of Codelock skin, Pilot Codelock. So you got to keep an eye on the commits, because all of this is being mentioned, it's all being said on the commits. All right. So that DLC's just made itself a lot more appealing, a lot more interesting. We've never seen a Codelock skin before. Well, now you're about to see it as a DLC, though. So, all right, cool. But yeah, naval update. Ghost ship interior progress. What? Ghost ship? Yeah. Oh, we're going to have like some sort of special Halloween thing going on there, maybe. I'm sure you've seen the film, right? Ghost ship. It's a bit rubbish, but yeah, you get the idea. So, okay, cool. So if you want to stay up to date in regards to all the new stuff that's being mentioned and worked on, keep an eye on the commits. Super important. Awesome. So we've got that pretty much all out of the way then. And yeah, SMM seems to have broken. Oh dear, but not too surprising. It is what it is. So yeah, overall, it was a pretty okay Rust Dog. I'm not going to complain. All the skins, as you can see here, had a very nice positive upvote to downvote ratio on the Steam market. And player count today, it peaked all the way up to 190-ish thousand. Official Steam says it's a little bit higher. Steam chart says it's a bit lower. Let's see if it goes up even higher as we go through the likes of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, fingers crossed we do see improvements with the player count. We do see a lot more people wanting to buy skins because, as I said, unfortunately, we did have that slump as we went through July. June. We hope for July to be better. So, yeah. Have you sold any skins? I ended up managing to sell about $2,000 worth. Now, I'd like to sell more. I'd like to fill up my accounts and whatnot. But I had to kind of stop towards the end of July. June. Oh, come on, Hedge. Because it really did look like things have been a bit awkward. And I knew I should wait at least until the Force Wipe when there's going to be a lot more people playing. So feel free to comment below if you've managed to make some decent profits and whatnot. But yeah, some of these skins did slump. Here's hoping, with a lot of kids now out of school, Western world at the very least, summer vacation, so both North America and Europe, and probably other countries around the world, all the kids are having their summer vacations now. And again, might not be summer in your country, but I'm still sure kids are out of school at the moment. Hopefully that leads to a lot more people playing. So you get the idea. More people playing, more demand for skins, high skin prices. Cool. So that's it. That's a wrap. So thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, that's everything. Best of luck with you on your investments. Let's hope we make some sweet, delicious profit.